There are moments when heaven doesn't whisper, it calls out, loud and clear. And this time, it's calling only to the parents. Archangel Michael comes forward today not with a general message, but with something sacred, urgent, and deeply personal. If you are a parent watching this now, it's not by accident. Your child's spirit is reaching out, and the divine is asking you to listen with your soul, not just your ears. In the higher realm, where every soul's path is recorded, a vibration has been felt, a shift in the energy of your child's life. Archangel Michael says your child's name has been spoken in the halls of heaven. Their journey on earth, though still unfolding, has reached a point where protection, awareness, and spiritual activation are necessary. This message isn't meant to alarm you, it's meant to awaken the protector within you, the one chosen to carry this soul in the physical world. You may have noticed small signs. Perhaps your child has been dreaming vividly, saying things that don't make sense, or staring off into places unseen. Maybe there's been a sudden shift in their behavior, a sensitivity, a knowing look in their eyes, or a quiet fear they cannot explain. Archangel Michael reveals that your child is highly sensitive to spiritual frequencies. They are absorbing more than you realize, not just from this world, but from realms unseen. Some children carry ancient wisdom. Others carry unhealed generational wounds that must be broken through their journey. In your case, Archangel Michael says your child was born with a soul assignment that connects to your lineage, your choices, and the spiritual contracts made long before either of you entered this life. That's why this message has arrived now, because the time to guide them has come. Michael wants you to understand that there are forces, both divine and dark, that are aware of your child's light. And while heaven stands ready to guard them, your presence, your awareness, and your spiritual alignment are key. You were not just chosen to be a parent, you were chosen to be a protector of a destined soul. If you've been overwhelmed, uncertain, or even disconnected lately, Archangel Michael gently reminds you, return to your child's energy. Look into their eyes. Feel their vibration. There's something they may not have words for, but their spirit is calling to you. This is not just about their daily well-being, this is about their soul path, their spiritual gifts, and their protection. Sometimes, children inherit spiritual battles from previous generations. Sometimes, they are born to break patterns that haunted your family line for centuries. And sometimes, they are simply sent here with a frequency so high, the world doesn't understand them, and that misunderstanding creates wounds. Your job, as their divine guide, is to listen with more than your ears. To see with more than your eyes. Archangel Michael is standing beside your family right now, especially near your child. A blue flame surrounds them, a symbol of divine truth, heavenly guidance, and spiritual shielding. If you've been praying for clarity or protection, your prayers were received. But now, Michael says, you must rise to your role, not just as a parent in the human sense, but as a spiritual guardian. There is a light unfolding in your child. It may appear through creativity, empathy, strange dreams, or sudden fears. It may appear as rebellion or retreat. But beneath every external shift is a soul crying out. Be seen and spiritually understood. You were not chosen as their parent by chance, you were the one their soul recognized before birth. They chose you. And heaven agreed. Michael urges you to begin speaking blessings over your child, not just in thought, but aloud. Your voice has power. Say their name in prayer. Speak protection. Call on divine angels to guide them in sleep, in school, in silence. Begin to surround their physical space with peace. Light a candle. Place something near their bed that represents divine connection. These small acts create massive spiritual ripple effects. And if your child has been facing health issues, emotional struggles, or isolation, know this: many spiritual children go through this early on. It is not a punishment. It is part of their preparation. What they feel, they carry deeply. And with the right guidance, these feelings will blossom into strength, not wounds. Archangel Michael also speaks to those parents who feel they've failed. If guilt has crept into your spirit, release it now. The past is not your prison. Heaven sees your heart, and your willingness to try again is enough to shift everything. Even one intentional moment of connection can break years of disconnection. That's the power of love. That's the power of this divine moment. Michael says this message is time-sensitive. Your child's spirit is calling because a window has opened, a chance for realignment, healing, and protection. What you do now, how you respond in these coming days, will impact not just their present but their future timelines. Many parents walk through life unaware of the spiritual depth unfolding within their home. They focus on grades, meals, sleep routines, but miss the subtle divine pulses echoing through their child's soul. Archangel Michael now urges you to slow down. Pause. Begin to notice. Has your child recently asked questions about death, angels, stars, or unseen friends? These are not just curiosities, they are spiritual markers. Signs that your child's spirit is reaching for something deeper. In many cases, these signs appear between the hours of 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., times when the veil is thinnest. If your child has been waking during these hours, restless or whispering things in their sleep, take it seriously. This is not coincidence. It's a signal. A divine nudge calling you to spiritual action. You are being called not to panic, but to prepare. Michael wants you to create a spiritual space in your home, no matter how small. A corner with calming light, perhaps a candle, a feather, a cross, or sacred stone. Let your child see you honoring the divine. Let them feel that connection is real, not just something mentioned on holidays. What they observe in you becomes the blueprint for how they walk with the divine in years to come. Some parents watching this might be raising children who are different, perhaps neurodivergent, extremely emotional, or unusually aware. Archangel Michael says, these are not weaknesses. These are sacred encodings. These children are often the carriers of healing energy for the generations to come. Their sensitivity is not a flaw, it is a gift waiting to be nurtured. But if you ignore this call, if the divine signs are missed, the path may grow heavier. Heaven is merciful, yes. But timing matters. And right now, Archangel Michael says the divine is giving your child, and your family, a powerful chance to break old patterns and step into a protective light. All it requires is your willingness to act from a higher place. Start by talking to your child, not with earthly worry, but with spiritual intention. Ask how they feel, not just at school, but when they're alone. When they dream. Ask what they fear, and what makes them feel safe. Listen without fixing. Hear without reacting. And after they speak, go into your own quiet space and pray. Call on Michael. Ask for clarity. Ask to be shown what your child's spirit truly needs. In homes where love feels distant, Archangel Michael says, reconnect. Even if it's awkward. Even if your child resists. Love always returns. And when it does, it brings healing not just to the present moment, but to generations past and future. This is the sacred task of spiritual parenting. Lastly, Michael asks you to begin blessing your child before sleep. Even if they don't know. Even if they're far away. Your words, spoken with love, can travel across any distance. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. Heaven does the rest. There's something profound about the love between a parent and child. It echoes the very relationship between Creator and creation. When a parent chooses to walk spiritually awake, especially during times when their child is vulnerable, it activates a protective force greater than any earthly security. Archangel Michael assures you that your awareness is the first step toward breaking generational patterns of fear, shame, or silence that may have lingered through your bloodline. If your child has been showing signs of sudden anxiety, unusual silence, creative bursts, or recurring dreams, they are not simply phases. These are signals that a spiritual dialogue is already unfolding. Michael says, their spirit is reaching for you. Not just for hugs or homework help, but for grounding. They are seeking your rootedness in divine light to help them stand firm in a world full of noise and spiritual distraction. And if you are a parent who feels like you've failed, who hasn't always been present, who carries guilt, Archangel Michael's message is especially for you. Heaven sees your regret, and your heart is still worthy. It's never too late. One prayer. One moment of sincere love. One act of spiritual awareness can shift your child's path forever. Forgiveness flows freely through the angelic realm, if you allow it. Many of you watching this video may have lost a child, or are carrying spiritual grief tied to a child. Michael comes now to wrap your heart in light. That connection you feel in your soul, that ache, it is real. The spirit of your child, whether here or beyond, is part of your divine mission. You are still their guardian in the eyes of heaven. And every step you take in love sends healing across the veil. There's a reason this message found you. It's not chance. Your child's spirit, and your own, are being summoned to rise. Not to perfection, but to presence. This hour is sacred. Archangel Michael has seen your household's spiritual map, and a doorway is opening now. You are not alone. You are being supported by unseen forces that long to assist you in raising a generation that walks with divine clarity and purpose. Prepare your heart. Look into your child's eyes today and see not just who they are, but who they are becoming. Speak life into their destiny. Pray over them, even if they never hear the words. And know that your willingness to listen to this message is already creating ripples of divine restoration in your home. And as the veil thins between the seen and unseen, Archangel Michael urges you not to dismiss your child's subtle shifts in energy or emotion. These are not mere behavioral changes, they are soul signals. Heaven is actively guiding you to notice the signs. Has your child been drawn to specific colors, symbols, or suddenly speaking of things beyond their understanding? These are not coincidences. Their spiritual sensitivity is awakening. You, as their guardian, were chosen before time to walk this path with them. You were not selected to be perfect, but to be present. Every sleepless night, every tear you've shed over them, every moment you felt overwhelmed and powerless, heaven saw it all. And now, Archangel Michael has been sent to remind you, you were never walking alone. You have ancestral blessings behind you, generations of light-bearers who once prayed for the day you would receive this message. The battles you are fighting on behalf of your child are not just for their present comfort, but for the future of your entire bloodline. What you heal now will echo forward, and their children will not face the same chains. Michael wants you to understand the spiritual urgency here. Not fear, but urgency. This is the time to realign your home. Cleanse the energy. Speak life aloud in your space. Place affirmations over their beds, over their clothes, over their name. Heaven is listening. The more you lean into this divine prompting, the more protection and clarity will descend like divine armor. Some of you are raising highly intuitive children, ones who are destined to be healers, visionaries, protectors. And those children are often the most attacked spiritually. That's why your awareness now is the shield they've been waiting for. Archangel Michael stands beside you, sword drawn, ready to guide your prayers and protect your child's light. Don't underestimate the power of small, consistent acts of spiritual covering. Lighting a candle. Speaking a prayer over breakfast. Hugging your child while silently asking God to shield their mind. These sacred, intentional acts create divine ripple effects across realms you cannot yet see. Tonight, before your child sleeps, pause for a moment. Gently place your hand on their shoulder or near their bed. Call upon Archangel Michael and say these words aloud or in your heart. Protect this child with heaven's shield. Let no shadow touch their destiny. Let your sword guard their soul. And guide me to be the parent heaven knows I can be. Watch what begins to shift in your household. Watch the emotional fog begin to lift. Watch the harmony begin to return. This message isn't about religion, it's about sacred responsibility. Heaven called, and you listened. Your child's spirit is safe, and their future is brighter because of your awakened heart. If this message stirred something deep within you, if your heart whispered, "This was for me," then don't keep it to yourself. There are other parents out there, silently struggling, unknowingly carrying the same divine responsibility. Share this message, let it be the light someone else didn't know they needed today. And if your child came to mind while listening, or a specific moment from your parenting journey flashed before you, tell us in the comments. Your words might be the exact confirmation another soul is praying for. If you felt seen, protected, divinely reminded, you can express your gratitude by tapping the Super Thanks button below. Every little gesture helps us keep delivering these sacred messages to those who need them most. And if you're new here, or you've been listening quietly for a while, this is your sign to join this divine space. More messages are being guided your way. Make sure you're here to receive them. Heaven is speaking. And today, it chose you to hear it.